Well, to me, it's about who Elon Musk is as a person, right? And not to say he's not doing good things. He's doing good things with CP, because I don't know if we can say the actual phrase on the show. I'm not saying he's not doing anything good, but who he is as a person, we have to remember this is an agnostic or atheist person who's trying to use scriptures out of context on Twitter to respond to somebody.
You notice Elon Musk doesn't believe in God. Here's some comments from Elon Musk.
Actor Rain asked the outspoken billionaire whether he had a spiritual life when he interviewed him. In his response, Musk ended up addressing the big question of whether God exists. Check it out.
Do you have a spiritual life?
Well, it sort of depends on what spiritual means. I mean, there's certainly things that we don't understand about the universe, but I'm less convinced that there's, say, some super consciousness watching over our every movement and kind of evaluating it against some criteria and deciding whether we're going to go to one place or another when we die. I think that's unlikely.
Right.
Rain continued to interview Musk on what he worships. From Elon Musk's response, it was clear that he was an agnostic, but not an atheist, as most people would think. As an agnostic, Musk neither believes nor disbelieves in God, since the existence of God cannot be proved.
That means you don't believe in God. And that's fine. That's okay. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying you have to believe in God, but I'm just saying that if you don't know this piece right here, that this means you do not believe in God.
Agnostic, Musk neither believes nor disbelieves in God.
No. That means you don't believe in God. Period. Either this is not something where you say, well, I don't know. That's what faith means. Faith means you don't know, but I do believe it. So that means you don't have faith in God. It's not complicated. You don't say, well, I don't know either way. So that doesn't mean I don't believe in God. Yes, it does. And that's fine. Just understand where you're at. And here you go back here to this clip.
Exists. Check it out.
Do you have a spiritual life?
Well, it sort of depends on what spiritual means. I mean, there's certainly things that we don't understand about the universe, but I'm less convinced that there's, say, some super consciousness watching over our every movement and kind of evaluating it against some criteria and deciding whether we're going to go to one place or another when we die. I think that's unlikely.
I agree. That's not how. I don't believe in I don't know about that part. So he's basically Elon saying, I'm not really with this idea of some person in the clouds, and then after you die, they decide if you go up or down, heaven or hell. Well, I don't know all that. I don't get into that like other people do, because I don't know if this everything around us could be God. It could. Isn't that a possibility? The bottom line is I believe in a higher power, and Elon Musk does not. It doesn't have to be some random person in the clouds. So he thinks, oh, I can't believe a random person in the clouds, so then I can't believe in a higher power. No, we don't know. Like you said, there's a lot of things we don't know. How did the universe start? The universe could be God, exploded. Some people read the Bible and they take the stories as, in their original forms as told, straight out, direct interpretation. I don't pretend to know either way. But you don't need to get into that. Is there a higher power or not? Elon Musk does not believe in that. And that's why he struggles. He doesn't have a moral foundation. What is your moral foundation based on? The problems we're having in the world is anti-God, pro-God, or faith in God. He can't be the one. I talked about that with James Lindsay on a recent upload. That doesn't mean Elon's not going to do great things. That doesn't mean he's not great. He obviously is. But when looking at the solutions to the problems we're having, those are different than engineering. It's not engineering in business. It's not math that's going to solve this. You're not going to be able to use engineering skills that he has, which are great. That I think that helps him actually in a way get closer to God, because he knows what the laws of nature are to the decimal point. Literally, what are the laws of physics, gravity on Earth, Moon, Mars? How do you get a rocket ship efficiently out of Earth's orbit? That, to me, is at some point you're getting closer to God. But that's not going to help the problem when you get into the area of faith. You can't use a mathematical equation to say, how do we improve the society that I live in socially? That doesn't work. So he can get us out into outer space. He can create a rocket ship. His friend of Show Ray Studios is probably like, no, he can't. I think he can. And when we say no, he can't, is there's questions if he can get out of Earth's, not Earth's orbit, but to get out into outer space and to the moon. I believe he can. The question is, can he do it with a human on board? I don't believe he can do that. That's why the Tesla bots are coming up. Every project he has is to help him get to Mars. The Cybertruck, the boring company. How do you think you're going to live on Mars? You got to bore tunnels. He's got the boring machine for the boring tunnel. He's got the robots. He's not going to be able to get humans through the Van Allen radiation belts, in my opinion. We never got to the moon. It's a lie. It's a fabrication. Respectfully, if you think we did get to the moon, I think you should do some research on it. I think you would have to be a buffoon to believe it. I think it's worse, probably as bad as believing 2020 was a legit. So he's boring company, the bore tunnels when you get to Mars because of the dust and the radiation and all that kind of other stuff there. Robots because he can't get humans there. He knows that. So he's going to have to use robots to control, to get and build stuff up until you can get humans out there. Tesla, electricity, solar power. There's no grid on Mars. You need solar power. So you see how it all comes together. He can do that, in my opinion. If anybody can, he can. But when it comes to faith-based solutions like bringing society together to make us more civil towards each other, there's no math that solves that equation. He can't be the one to do that. Not right now. Not with his lack of faith. He doesn't believe in God, so forget about that. Everything happening is anti-God movement. Even if it wasn't, he wouldn't be the one to bring the solution. I just played Josh Hawley before I went over to Rumble Only. That is a message, a fundamental message about how life continues. A male goes up to a female, you do what you do, and you've got kids.
Young men, let me make a suggestion to you. Why don't you turn off the computer and log off the and go ask a real woman on a date? How about that?
And that's a rebellious message right now. But that is what you would need to change things. A message like that. And then not to hate anybody who doesn't believe in God, but you can still believe in the fundamentals of a man and a woman and not necessarily believe in God, like a James Lindsay would agree. So Elon doesn't have principles. He doesn't have a driving force. He's stepping down, and it's good. He should be stepping down. He's not going to be the right one. He can't make moral decisions. What you do with Ye is a moral decision. And if you have to make the decision to keep your company alive for advertisers, then the moral way to handle it is not to lie to yourself, because I think he believes what he said. I've been thinking about it. I don't think he's lying. I maybe have to retract, because I might have called him a liar before. I just don't think he has faith. He doesn't have a moral foundation. So he really thinks, yes, that's incitement to violence. He really believes that. So he looks at life differently. And that's why he can't make these decisions. That's why he said, Alex Jones can't be on the platform because my 10-week-old died. That's not a moral. That's not moral. That's not a person of high value to say something like that. Obviously, Alex Jones has nothing to do with your kid dying. He found out that he's not great at everything. Everybody can't be great at everything. He's smart in other areas. He can play those roles. There's plenty of other people to go to. So if he wants to do this with Twitter, I'm going to end with this. Man, I put a proposal that it would be Ian Crossland, y'all. Do you guys know Ian Crossland from Timcast? I think very highly of him. And I think, I can't speak for his religious beliefs, but when I look at him, he is a man of some type of faith. And I think you can be of any type of background religion and still have faith. And Ian has morals. if you hear him talk, Ian is so based on that show and never really gets his full credit. I mean, to be honest, I think Ian should have his own show. Just saying. And I don't want to break up what's good, but and he used to have his own show. But he has a moral foundation that he will make decisions. And even if I disagree with the decision, he has in his heart, I'm going to tell you the truth. He can't. I don't think Ian can even lie. That's the type of dude he is. And I think he would decentralize Twitter. He would, if he was in control of Twitter, it would be light years better than what Elon Musk is doing. Let me know what you think.